share something with you that I found. I've been studying the end times, and I've never studied it before. This is just, my first time really studying this for myself, not what other people have taught or I've heard from other people, but, looking at the scriptures myself. So what happened is that I was at church, and one of the pastors spoke about this Bible that he had. And this Bible, he was talking about it, that it had commentaries from Polycarp and Irenaeus and, all these fathers of the faith, the early church fathers. So I was intrigued. And I got the Bible, and I decided, I wanted to read Daniel and Revelation side by side. And so I put the two Bibles together like this, and I was doing that. Well, I read in this new Bible, it's called the CSB, Christian Standard Bible. I don't know. It reads close to the King James Version, which is usually the only thing that I read is the King James Version. I don't really like translations at all, even though I could use it just in reading. But anyway, I usually stick to the King James Version, and you guys know I study on Bible Hub, so I could look up all the words. So I've been doing that anyway. In Daniel 11:37, I want to share with you something that I learned, that I saw, and it to me was like I was just like really taken aback by it, and because we know about all of the criteria for what we're looking for in the Antichrist. He's going to be this, he's going to do this, he's going to do this, he's going to be like this, he's going to do, right? So one of those criterias that I heard was from Daniel 11:37, when it says, nor the desire of women, that he would not desire women, that he would possibly desire men or nobody, that he would, either not be attracted to anybody or desire, intimacy with no person, or that he would possibly be attracted to the same sex, not women. But I want to share something with you today that I see, I've read, and when I studied it, it was like a light bulb went off in my head, like oh my gosh. So I want to share that with you today. So, here we go. In the King James Version, starting at Daniel 11, verse 36, and this actually goes through verse 39. So for three passages, scripture passages, it is talking about the Antichrist. And it's saying how he doesn't regard any God, only regards himself higher than any God. So follow me for 1 second, and let me read this to you, okay? So it says in verse 36, and the king shall do according to his will. He shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every God, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation, the wrath, be accomplished, for that is determined shall be done. Verse 37, neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. verse 38 says, "But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces, and a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold, with silver, with precious stones, and pleasant things. Thus he shall do in the most strongholds," this is verse 39, "thus he shall do in the most strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory, and he shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain." Okay, so out of that scripture, Daniel 11:36 through 39, is where we are told, have been taught, a lot of people, I know I haven't been taught it, but I've been told it, and it's not something that I ever studied for myself. I just took, what I was told and went, yeah, okay, probably. But in this Daniel 11:36 through 39, we clearly see he is talking about gods and how he esteems himself higher than any god. And in the midst of this one verse, verse 37, "Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any god, for he shall magnify himself above all." So if we look at that scripture, verse 37, Daniel 11:37, and say that tells us that he does not desire the same sex or does not have any desire for any woman, I think it's taken out of context. Because the first sentence is, "Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers." Then it says, "Nor the desire of women." Now he's not attracted to women. He doesn't desire to have intimacy with any woman. The next sentence is, and it's not even the next sentence, it's a paragraph, "Nor regard any god, for he shall magnify himself above all." So either he thinks women are gods, or this is taken completely out of context. For it to say, "Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor does he lust after women, nor regard any god," it doesn't, you can't do that. You can't do that. "For he shall magnify himself above all." Right? Do you see this? Okay, so I went over to this other Bible and I was like, hold up. Let's see what this one says. So in this Christian, what is it? The Christian Standard Bible, it says, "Then the king will do whatever he wants," is verse 35. "He will exalt and magnify himself above every god. He will say outrageous things against the God of gods. He will be successful until the time of wrath is accomplished, because what has been decreed will be accomplished." What is written will be accomplished. "He will not show regard for the gods of his ancestors, or the God desired by women, or for any other god, because he will magnify himself above all." I think this is what it says. I think to read this scripture truthfully, without, taking things out of context, I think this scripture has to say what is written here. "Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor show regard for the God desired by women." Those are fertility gods. Those are gods that women prayed to get pregnant, to have babies, or sensual gods that made them sensual, to be goddesses, right? Nor regard any god, for he shall magnify himself above all. That, in my opinion, is reading this scripture correctly and not taking out of context, out of the middle. That would be, for instance, like me saying, my husband, he loves to travel the world. He loves to go to Spain. He loves to go to, England. He loves to go to Guatemala. He loves to go to Sweden. He doesn't like dogs. He loves to go to any country that there is. My husband loves to travel all the time. So it doesn't make sense. What would make sense if I were saying that to you is if I said to you, my husband loves to travel. He loves to go to Spain. He loves to go to Portugal, to Guatemala, to Switzerland. He loves to go to even the country that all the dogs love to go to, whatever country that's. He loves to travel all over and see everything. It doesn't make sense for me to tell you that he doesn't like dogs in the midst of telling you all the places he loves to travel. Nor does it make sense for us to take a paragraph, a scripture, and out of that scripture where every sentence with commas and semicolons are telling us about all the gods that he doesn't regard, that he regards himself above every god, and in the middle of it say he doesn't desire women. It's out of context. So as far as I'm concerned, the fact that the Antichrist would have to either not desire any woman at all, like a pope or something, or not desire women and desire men, the same sex, or whatever else, that's off my list. As far as I'm concerned, the Antichrist could be married, could not be married, could be, a gigolo, I don't know, a man that loves to have all different women, a man who possibly would desire his own sex. I don't think that's the subject here. I don't think in this little one part of a sentence, amidst a whole paragraph, 3 paragraphs of him talking about how he doesn't honor any god, that he esteems himself above every god, that we're going to slip in there one little thing in the middle of it, that he doesn't desire women. I think that's out of context, and I think wherever we got that, we need to root it up, or pull it up, or tear it down, like Jeremiah says. We have to root up or tear down, pull down strongholds of doctrines that are not true. Just not true. Will you tell me what you think? Because I want to share this with you right away. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, right? And I hear people saying it on, different things on YouTube. I see them saying, no, the Antichrist is going to be gay. The Antichrist doesn't desire women. And that's just not the truth. We can stick to whatever we want to stick to if that makes us feel good. But it's not the truth. It's not the truth. That's not what it's saying right here. It's just saying he doesn't regard any God. Any God. No God. He esteems himself higher than any God, except for he will honor, he will deal with the strongest fortresses in the help of a foreign God. anyway, that's I just wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, that's it for today. It's a quickie, but I wanted to share that. Will you tell me what you think? Tell me what you think. Will you read that scripture and tell me if you can get out of there that he's not attracted to women in the midst of 3 of them saying, 3 scriptures, 3 paragraphs of saying, talking about God suddenly in the midst. We're going to squeeze in there. He's talking about, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. That happens in another place. It's not quoted. It doesn't read right. It doesn't make sense. We can't do that. Why that happens is because false doctrine, false teachers come in and they have a different agenda. They have an agenda to lure us into cult doctrines. And they just would take a little bit here, a tiny little twisty here, a tiny little twisty there, tiny little twisty there, and before you know it, you got some twisties inside that need to be untwisted, unbraided, as Jesus would say. He had to go through and unbraid some things. So anyway, right? Tell me what you think. All right, that's it for today. God bless you. Bye-bye.